All right, so if you take your tablets, what I want you to do is just take a look at the screen. You're going to find there's a blue dot on the screen. This is pretty classic of tablet GIS today. What you're going to notice is that this blue dot is moving around a little bit. It's trying to find your location. And if you walk up and down the street or up and down this swale here, what you're going to find is that the map is going to pan and follow you. This is kind of key for your field guys because you don't want them trying to find where they are. It's one of the most common complaints from field guides today. So the GIS should zoom to your location, it should find you and follow you throughout the day. You're looking here at an outfall and you can see the stream that we're against right here. You'll notice that there's one triangle at the end of a pipe, and that represents this outfall. This one here is submerged, as you can see, and they did pick it up in their mapping program. But interestingly enough, they didn't pick up a second outfall, which is just over here. You can see the second outfall, and we've got to map them all. Now, this is a common situation with GIS. You've got folks in the field, they're using your mapping program, but they don't really often have permission or tools to capture new points. And this could be a new catch basin, it could be a new manhole. If you were mapping your infrastructure from aerial photography, there could have been a car parked over a piece of infrastructure and didn't get picked up. You want your field guys to map these things as they see them. So I'm going to have you do that. I'm going to have you just zoom the map in so that you get a good shot of this area here, and then I want you to place your finger approximately where this outfall is located. Because remember, I not only have to map this thing, but then I've got to inspect it afterward. And I'm just your average field guy, and you want to put your mind into that mindset as you're using this software. Don't get sold on software that just looks pretty. Think about how that software is going to work for your intended user. In this case, it's your field guys. So when I click on the map, you can see there's now a finger pointing to where I clicked, and I actually got it pretty close here. And it's asking you, the software knows that there's nothing there now. So it's asking you, what do you want to place there? In this case, it's the first option, an outfall. As soon as you do, a form is going to open up. This form is going to allow you to not only map this new outfall, but it's going to allow you to answer questions about it. For example, the mapping method, and we'll just go with tablet. Who mapped it? I'm going to pick consultant. The outfall owner, this is a town outfall, obviously. And there's other information, but also notice the upload photo. So I can now choose file, and I can upload and take a photo and have that photo go right into my database. This is before I'm even done with the form. Before I'm even walking away, everything's going to be complete. And if I continue down here, you'll see a section on structural details. I can start to now describe the detail of this particular outfall, the condition of the pipe, the diameter, the material. So we're really capturing a lot of information here. If you get into the pipe details, the pipe material, you see there's some diagrams there helping you to do measurements. So it's a really complete application. And you know, my question to you is, can your field guys handle this kind of information? And I think for the most part, you know that they can. So now that I've finished with my form, I can hit submit. And now you can see, indeed, there's a new triangle symbol on the map, and we now have our outfall in the GIS database. I don't have to store this on a thumb drive and carry it to my GIS guy or my GIS consultant. It is part of my GIS database. And this is a part that you really have to understand. Today's GIS is for everybody to be using on a constant basis. Great. So now I'm done mapping this new outfall. I click on it again. The software now sees that there's an outfall there, and what it wants to do is it wants to give me options on what to do with that outfall. In this case, I'm going to do an inspection of this outfall. So 10 minutes ago, we didn't even have it in our database. Now it's in our database, it's photographed, and I'm doing an inspection. So you can cruise through and see the inspection questions. You can answer those questions. You'll see there's a text box there for notes. If you click into that large box and hit the microphone, you can talk, and the computer will do its best to type that language in for you. We always get asked if I swear, will it type the swear words? Usually it puts in asterisks. We've done some of that testing. But nonetheless, I'm now completing my inspection, and I can hit OK. So I've not only mapped it, I've photographed it, I've inspected it, and I can move on. take this back to the first question that we had. The first question, who's the intended user? It's our field users. Your average field user in a municipality that's working on stormwater is going to be in their mid to late 40s. Think of that person. Can they use an application like this? They want to be able to click on the map, click on their option, fill out the information, and move on. They're going to be doing tens of dozens, hundreds of these a day, and so it's got to be quick, it's got to be simple. People ask us about qualifications. I think the qualification is 1, willingness, and 2, can they use a smartphone? Because that's all this is. It's just a big smartphone. Now, people will ask us, can we use phones in the field? And you certainly can. But again, you got to go back to that point of who's the intended user. In this case, middle 40s, field guy who's been out there doing work like this for 20 years. If you're on a phone, you're looking at very small text, and it's very difficult with sunlight and what have you for them to be able to see the detail on a phone. We do have people using phones. It will work on most smartphones. It's just a matter of matching the technology to your end user. The other question that we've been asked this morning quite a bit is, what kind of tablet are we looking for? Now, you can't just grab any random tablet Staples off the counter. While it may work, you may find that if you're out there doing thousands of these a season, inspections and what have you, you want a tablet you can rely on. We recommend seeking one out that has waterproof capabilities to it, so that if it does rain outside and what have you, I would not use this underwater, and I certainly wouldn't use this in a torrential downpour, but I wouldn't put my field crew out there anyway. But if I'm out there and sprinkling, if I'm out there and it's lightly raining, I'm going to use this piece of equipment because it indeed satisfies that requirement. It's got pretty good hardware, pretty good RAM. You can send an email to us and we'll give you a 2-page document on what we recommend for hardware, and you can go from there. You don't have to invest in $2,000 ruggedized tablets. A unit like this you can expect to pay somewhere in the vicinity of $400 or $500. You're going to want to put a case on it, and then you're good to go.